You're good. You relax. Just
Yep.
wah 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, let's get started.
Alrighty.
Hello and welcome to Castle's Corner. Back again with Jackie.
Hello.
To be able to take some time from a busy schedule to come to this podcast, specifically to talk about, you guessed it, biomechanics.
Yes.
And how it's changed her life. That'll be the topic for today. Gonna try to keep it as short as we can for you, and for me as well.
Okay. That sounds good.
So let's get into it. So why don't you tell how did you meet me, for example?
Well, we met at the gym. I was doing my workout, and I always he caught my attention because he was one of the few people in the gym that was just so focused, didn't talk to anyone. You were always very disciplined. And I admired that. Aside, he has a great body, but he was just always there just to work out, no socializing, and I liked that. I admired that. And then one day we just happened to talk about doing cardio together or something, and it was 4 years ago, and here we are.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what changed first? Because we just started doing cardio. I needed a cardio partner. I was cutting for a photo shoot or something. I remember.
Right.
So I wanted a cardio partner so I didn't get bored.
Right. And then we started with the weights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I remember you told me I don't work out that much. I do cardio and I come in here and I do.
Well, you know what? And I've had several trainers before I met you, and even though I had several trainers before I met you, I had been doing so many different exercises that they had been teaching me, and so when I stopped training, I still would be in the gym and lost as to what's the proper training. Am I doing it right? I always second guessed myself. I always did a lot of different exercises that now I look back and I'm thinking, why
What was the point of those?
Yeah, and I really didn't notice much as far as developing more muscle tone, which I notice now. So yeah, it was just interesting, and then we met, and then you got me into we were doing squats back then.
Oh, yeah,
remember?
squats, deadlifts.
Deadlifts, yes. I never did a deadlift, a correct deadlift before.
No, yep. Learn how to do deadlift. Again, I used to teach people how to squat and deadlift and bench press. I used to teach these things correctly, by the way.
Yes.
Correctly.
Yes.
Per regulation rules and stuff. But
yes.
why did we do that? And then I was in the middle, when I met you, I was in the process of transitioning into biomechanics.
Yes.
And you probably remember, I would go to the gym and I would be so very upset that I couldn't do deadlifts. Well, it's not like I couldn't do deadlifts. It was just, it didn't make logical sense with the new information that I had to continue doing deadlifts and squats. And these were something I had done for 12, 13 years previously, 2-3 times a week to get my weight up. Yeah, to get my weight up. You used to see me bend bars, break bars.
Yeah, scary.
We would do hack squats. I would do it with 1,500-pound hack squats.
Yeah.
I did leg press with all the weights in the gym. It was 3,000 pounds. Again, not impressive if you understand the actual math and angles being used. It's not impressive. It's very stupid. I used to deadlift 620. My best deadlift was 650. And I did all these things, by the way, I should stress this. I did all these things while I was between 145 and 150 pounds. I'm 210 pounds now. I mean, just to be clear about that. When I started learning biomechanics and transitioned away from the deadlift and the squat and the bench press, which I had spent the last 10 plus years trying to get better at and to build my body, but when I stopped them, that's when the changes in my muscles really occurred.
Yeah.
But that's because I actually understood now how and why I was doing things. So I'm very bad at this nowadays because I'm so immersed in biomechanics I can't remember properly, but why don't you talk about how you used to view training? Because even when you met me, I was very well versed in training, and even for several years at that point, but not biomechanics, but in training itself. So at that point in time, I already didn't really understand why people did what they did and why they didn't go to the gym, and what they did when they went to the gym seemed very bizarre and strange and counterproductive to me. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I still to this day have trouble understanding it, to be honest with you. But so from your perspective, why did you used to go to the gym, or what did you used to think you were doing?
Well, I go to the gym because, you want to be healthy and feel good, whatever. But I just, my understanding of how when I was working out was, okay, today I'm doing, let's say, bis and tris, but I would do like 3 different exercises for biceps and 3 different exercises for triceps, just the machines, going through the machines, and didn't know anything about failure. I did my 3 sets, 12, okay, that was nice. I got a little burn. Yeah. So that was kind of my whole outlook. That's how I used to train.
Just real quick, I remember the first time I took you to failure on a set. You kept asking me, "Are we done?" I'm like, "Why are you asking me that?"
I kept yelling at him.
Oh, my legs hurt. We're not done? So why are you asking me that? You're obviously not done yet. It was like getting mad that you kept asking me, "Are we done yet?" I'm like, you're still moving. You're not done.
No, failure is, and then you learn that when you go to the gym, it's not supposed to look pretty.
No.
You're not going to look pretty.
Mm-mm.
You're going to be like,
Oh God, yeah. Well,
distorted face, and that's
effort.
That's effort.
That's effort, and if you're not training to failure, you're wasting your time.
I would
basically.
stop after like 10 or 12, right? And he'd look at me, and I'm like, "What? I got 12." He's like, "You were at full range of motion, right?
You have everything. You don't even look like you're struggling in the slightest.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?"
He still kind of does that to me. I'm like, "No, I'm done.
Well,
You got one more."
we just finished a leg workout. We haven't worked together. We just did quads, hamstrings, and calves together. And we haven't worked out together quite a while now.
Yeah.
So you forgot what it was like training hard, I think.
Yeah, I forgot what it was like training with you. Yeah.
The first set I left,
It felt good though.
First set I left her be, but then like after that I was keeping an eye on her. I was like, what the hell is she doing? She's half-assing it and shit.
And it's interesting, but I still go to failure. I do. But
different failure than with me.
Different failure. Maybe the intensity is not as high as it should be, but I definitely go until I can't go anymore, until I have just a little bit of that motion left, and and that's made a big difference.
Just a point I would like to touch on, because I get this from a lot of my clients. Until they actually work with me for 2 or 3 weeks, they don't really understand biomechanics. I mean, I go through a lot of things to explain to them over the first few weeks, because it's critical that they understand it, especially if they're a bodybuilder or athlete. Right. They need to know these things. But it's always just very amusing to me that some of the things they'll always say in the beginning is like, I have to do compound movements. You don't understand. You can't build muscles with isolation. I'm like, you're telling me I don't understand? So I'll go through them and I say, listen, you think you have to have an intense workout, meaning you have to sweat a lot, meaning you have to kill yourself doing squats and deadlifts. I said, I don't know a single person who can work out with me for 3 sets with isolation movements and then they're going to want to do another set. I've never had anyone ever, if I say, do you want to do a 4-set? Bodybuilder, athlete, I don't care who you are. I'm ready to go for 3 more sets. I've never had a single human being say, yeah, let's do another set. 3 sets is usually, they can't even, they think I'm joking about the 3rd set. They think that that's a joke. I'm like, no, we're taking 3 sets to failure. People have no idea what that means. Yeah. That's all. People think you have to be sweating in a compound movements.
A few times you've said, okay, we're doing that 4th set, and I'm like, oh, he's got to be kidding me.
I'm doing 6 sets, 7 sets sometimes, But the intensity level has to be 100%. I literally say it's like somebody has a gun in my mouth, and the second I stop moving that limb, no momentum, by the way, but the second I stop moving that limb, the trigger gets pulled. Yeah. And that's where I go every single set, every single day. And that's, by the way, the intensity level I used to have with my squats, with my deadlifts. Yes, I was an intense motherfucker.
Yes, and that's what caught my attention.
Bending bars in the gym. How many guys load up squats, do full range squats, ass to grass, 500 pounds?
I was there and we took the weights off, and I was like, he didn't even notice. I'm cracking up because the bar was like that. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna be in trouble.
Another time we maxed up the hack squat machine, and I was lifting, and one of the pins with 1,000 pounds just broke off. Couldn't handle the weight. So it fucked up my lift because I went to go up, and the momentum from pushing it up just snapped it. And I was so pissed because I went flying upwards with all the extra push I had, And then
it's funny now.
Well, it's funny now. The gym owner came over, he's yelling at me. I'm like, listen, I have full range of motion. I'm not like bullshitting the squat. It's your machine's weak. But that's because you can load thousands of pounds on a machine and it looks impressive, but you're not doing anything. even if you do full range of movement, you're only activating your quads 30%. You're only activating your glutes 20%.
Right.
I mean, what are you doing?
Right.
That's why you need so much weight. You're being inefficient and you're damaging your body.
And you're wasting time.
And you're wasting your goddamn life, really. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to, this is a big thing I always get, frustrated with. I think if you're going to the gym to get a body and to build muscle and to lose weight, you should just do it the best way. Why wouldn't you just take, 2 weeks to learn the best way? What's the best way? Well, you take it back to a first basis principle, which apparently nobody has except Doug Brignoli and a few others. And all you do is physics, how do they affect the levers of the human body? It takes 2 seconds to figure it out.
And do you know what else is interesting? And, I'll point this out to you. Me being, I'm a lot older than he is. And I always, you're always afraid you're going to hurt yourself. Well, how many times when you first met me did I say, oh, I pulled this. Oh, I'm sore here. Oh, this. Oh, I think I sprained this. And ever since, and we did heavy weights together. I mean,
big shit.
I did weights that I never thought I could. And
I want to be clear. It's always a subjectively heavy weight.
No. This is before, but yeah.
But I'm saying it still is subjectively heavy.
But my point is, if done properly, and it's just a few core exercises, you won't get those sprains or the pulls or if done properly, you will not hurt yourself.
That's because you're not twisting and contorting your body. You're not putting spinal compression on your disc. You're not going to run. You don't need to, because your body has evolved a certain way over time for a very specific reason. It's evolved over time because of the laws of physics. That's why everything in this world moves the way that it does, is physics. Your body is just a machine, as you know, but made up of levers and pulleys and muscles which go over those levers and pull them together. That's it, over the hinges. That's really all that it is. And as soon as you apply the laws of physics to that and you look at it, and according to an anatomy chart, it's ridiculously easy to tell. And again, anybody who is doubting any of this, it's not a debate. There is no doubt. You can watch. I literally have like 17, 18 1-minute videos where in just 1 minute I explain the core concept of why you think this particular exercise is great, why it's wrong, and what the alternative and why it's right mathematically. It's not debatable in the slightest. And if you still don't believe that, you can just try it for yourself. You'll be astonished by how little weight you'll be using. I have a great demonstration I'm going to be putting up later today where I run through literally how 5 pounds can be magnified up to 200 pounds with just a lever.
Yes,
with
just great.
But yeah, no. But it's a mind, for most people, because they think, oh, it's just 5 pounds. Well, it's not just 5 pounds. Right. It's 5 pounds that's attached to a 12-inch lever that is then the muscle attaches to and has to move the whole 12-inch lever. It's not the muscle pulling directly on the 5 pounds. Now, if you take that lever and you don't make it 12 inches, say you make it 70 inches, well, then you've just added a magnification factor of 68. So now it's 68 times more magnified than it was previous. So you ain't curling that 5 pounds anymore. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it seems like it's common sense. And
you would think so.
But what I think what's so hard to accept is how simple it is.
Well, everybody knows the simplest solution is usually the right one.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows Occam's razor. Everyone knows. It's basic principle.
Yeah.
Well, most people know that anyways. But the simplest solution is typically the best one and the right one.
Right.
And none of the exercises, by the way, except for 2 that I educate and teach people about, there's only give or take 26, depending on what level of fitness you want and what exercises you need for your particular sport or whatever. But there's only up to about 26. And every single one of these exercises can be taught in less than 5 minutes. And that's because you already know them. You know the bicep curl. The only thing I change is your elbow position, and I make it stable. That's it. You guys know how to do a tricep push down. The only thing I change is the angle of the cable. That's it. The leg extension, you guys know it. The hamstring curl, you guys know it. The only thing I'm changing slightly is the angles, and I'm going to be drastically lowering your weights because you're going to be maximally using your levers or your bones. I mean, that's how you want to use things. You want to use things intelligently to maximize your benefit. We just did a absolutely disgusting leg workout, crushed our legs. I couldn't walk to breakfast. It was 26 minutes. By the way, I filmed it. I'm going to include it after this. You guys can literally see what a 26-minute leg workout looks like. And yeah, it sucks, and it's hard, and it's brutal, and it's 26 minutes. You guys spend that on your warm-up. Usually in the gym. So I'm just saying this is why. And you don't build muscle in the gym. Everyone knows this, I think. You break your muscles in the gym. You destroy your muscle fibers, hopefully. Hopefully, you destroy your muscle fibers. Muscles only grow when they're challenged by intensity they have not yet experienced. So you just have to keep tearing them every time you go to the gym, and then you have to allow them time to recover. The more time you have to recover, the better. Meaning, you want to work out as quickly and efficiently as possible to do maximum damage correctly to only the target muscles, so no other muscles get damaged. So you have maximum recovery, obviously. So you only go to the gym 30 minutes, and then you have 23 and a half hours to recover, and then another 7 to 8 days to recover before you do the workout again. So that's it. But people don't want to accept that's the case. It seems too easy. It seems too simple. You don't need a gym. Again, I tell people, you don't need a gym. People think I'm crazy when I say you have no need for a gym. You need roughly 50 pounds of weights and a couple cables and pulleys in your house somewhere. That's freaking it. You can have a complete full body exercise workout for every single muscle on your body, targeting it far perfectly than any machine at the gym or personal trainer can educate you, unless he's me. Okay? Sorry, I got a rant there. Your turn.
No. I just have to agree with everything. It's true. My workouts are now focused. There's no guessing. There's no, let me try this machine and see what it. There's none of that. I go in. I get my workouts done, like he said, like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's great, and you feel it, and you'll see a difference. It really will make a difference.
And it's common sense, again, to anyone who knows, anatomy or anything about physics, it's common sense. A basic example would be most people's shoulder day. I don't even want to tell you how many exercises most people do on shoulder day, but it's a lot. You need exactly 3. Why? Is because you only have 3 shoulder muscles. That's it. You have the front deltoid, you have the lateral deltoid, and you have the rear deltoid. That's your shoulder. Knowing you have 3 muscles, that means you have exactly 3 exercises you need to do. 1 exercise, the perfect one, for each head of that deltoid. So the front deltoid, you just need 1 exercise. The perfect one. If it's not perfect, why would you do it? You're sacrificing efficiency for what? For confusing the muscle? That's not a real thing. Hate to break it to you. Muscles don't have brains. That whole muscle confusion principle, I've addressed this in many videos, but it doesn't matter who in the world you are. An elite athlete, a bodybuilder, as soon as you do an exercise your body's unfamiliar with, that particular muscle groupings that that exercise targeted will be sore because either they were trained in a new range of motion, they were trained at new speed, so they had different time under tension, or they were trained to increase a lactic threshold, so they had more lactic acid inside of them, all of which will produce soreness. If you do the same exercises, the perfect exercise every time, you don't have that muscle confusion effect. You don't feel sore after your workouts. That's fine. The muscle is still growing. You don't need to feel sore. You don't have to train harder if you're not feeling sore. If you keep doing the perfect exercises, you won't feel sore, but your muscles will grow. That is actually correct, yes. And it's hard to believe these things to people, but try it for yourself.
Again,
try it for yourself. Try it for yourself.
Yes.
It's not debatable. Do it for yourself. You can't argue with me.
Try,
yeah.
But the important thing, like we mentioned before, failure. Until failure.
You gotta go to failure, though.
Go to failure. You can't move anymore.
Well, depending.
And it's like you said, when you understand biomechanics, it's not about, let me put more weight on and put more weight on. That's what you say, ego versus. It's not about how much weight you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's doing it
completely
irrelevant.
The
lateral raises, the cable lateral, 5 pounds. That's what I do.
I do 13. I do 13.
And it kills me. I mean, by the third set, I'm like, oh man, 5 pounds.
You guys have probably seen my workout videos, but you've seen me doing lateral raises. That is 13 pounds. Yes, I only do about 12 to 13 reps, and yeah, I look like I'm dying. Yes, you go ahead and try it with 13 pounds. See if you do it.
Yeah.
See if you can do it. I'm serious. The same way I do it. See if you can do it.
Right.
Guarantee you can't. Try it.
Yeah.
Let's start wrapping up. I know you got stuff to do, so let's wrap up. One last thing I'm going to include is probably do a second video. Is this quick little demonstration we're going to do. It's a physics demonstration.
Oh, yes.
But it's a physics demonstration that relates entirely to the gym. It's a biomechanics demonstration, but it is entirely physics. I'm just going to be showing you how to magnify the force of a 5-pound dumbbell Once again, just demonstrating the principle of a short lever versus a long lever, and your whole body is made up of levers, and that's the basic principle. That's all. So, anyways, Jackie, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed doing this.
Thank you for educating me on biomechanics. No, really, it does. I know this sounds like hokey, but it changes your life.
It does.
It really
you
does.
view the world differently.
You do.
You do, because now you understand why buildings are built the way they are, why lampposts stay
Yes.
upright. The
Yes.
simple laws of physics
Yes.
you now grasp very easily. Also applies heavily to self-defense, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in a stressful situation, you would know pretty easily where to target somebody lever-wise to either move them or fold them or whatever have you. Plus, we've gone over some stuff anyways.
Yes, I know.
You know, but regardless, it's a lot easier if you understand these things. I always apply it to jiu-jitsu. All they do is manipulate levers. That's what jiu-jitsu is manipulating levers. As soon as I mentioned this to a jiu-jitsu guy, blew his mind.
Yeah.
Like, really, it completely blew his mind. We started talking about it. I'm like, no, you really should learn biomechanics.
Yeah.
He's like, why? I'm like, that's all you do actually when you're doing jiu-jitsu. You know, that's all you do is biomechanics. You're manipulating levers and hinges. So if you knew about the human body a little bit, you'd be a lot better at it. And his name's Jason. He's feverishly studying it right now. Actually, he's very excited to get an edge from it.
Oh yeah, sure.
I told you he's gonna get a massive edge.
Yes,
when he learns
that's great. Awesome.
Yeah. No, sorry. Anyways, bye guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Bye.
And it might be a small thing for you guys, but please just remember to like and subscribe and share the video. It helps me tremendously. It only takes you a couple seconds, guys. And of course, check out all my other series, lectures, and videos. Check out my Instagram, Coach Castle, and my Facebook, Castle Thompson. All right, guys. Be safe.
Bye.